If after a recent breakup, you are struggling to let go, you know this relationship is not good for you, you know that person is not the right person for you, is not the right partner, and for some reason you have a really hard time to let go, you're kind of obsessed with trying to get back with this person. In this video, I'm going to explain you my methodology, one strategy that I use with my clients to help them letting go. Jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
The first reason why you're attached to or you are struggling to let go is because you are attached to the relationship. You think you're attached to your partner, you're attached to the relationship. It's really about what the relationship represents. That's safety. Being in a relationship makes us feel safe. And it's not so much about the person, which in a way becomes an object. It's about the relationship that provides that secure place. Safety, validation, a sense of wholeness, okay? And this is, you have to understand that this is a construct. This is a representation of relationship, a representation of your relationship with your partner. In attachment theory, what I do with my clients is that we work on reshaping, reprogramming our internal working models. And in that context, the people who have a hard time letting go is usually because they have a belief system around the relationship. The belief that they can't operate outside the construct of a relationship. Second thing that I see very often, and I want to actually let me know in the comment section which ones, if one or two of the points that I mentioned, you feel are really relatable. The second one that I found with the client recently is that the pain equal reward. And I call it the salesperson thing. A salesperson, when you reject their offer, when you don't want to have a deal with them, they will double down on the effort. They say like, I want this person to sign. I want to close on this person. And very often we build this belief system. People grow up with this idea, I need to study hard because the harder I study, the biggest the reward. I need to prove everyone that I can do it. And therefore, unconsciously, we believe that it's very hard, it's very difficult. My partners gave me a very hard time, and therefore it means that it's important. It means that it's something I need to go towards. And we are, in a way, hooked or addicted to this pain. In a way, it's very much unconscious, but it's also something that I see very often. People who have a hard time letting go when, for example, people will tell them no. 3, this one is common amongst everyone, is the loss, the fear of loss when we lose our investment. And the idea that I've invested so much, I put so much effort in the relationship, I can't let go. A little bit like a trader who makes a bad trade, he'll be losing on his position, but I was so invested in this position, I can't let go. And it's very common amongst traders to have this psychological bias where they really need to be, very often they say, you don't fall in love with your trades, be very unemotional with your trades. And it's exactly what we do in relationship, obviously, we're in love with that person. So the loss aversion, that's the cognitive bias, that's how it's called, is twice as stronger than, it's not the loss, but the win benefit. So we will put twice as much effort to try to save something than to rescue something, than to earn something. And so one thing that can help you to let go is understand that if you feel you've invested so much, what about your partner? Do they feel the same? Do you feel that, if you invested so much, then what did they do? Were you really in a mutually loved relationship? And that's why avoidance keep things superficial. It's a way to protect themselves. If I don't invest too much, if I don't become too vulnerable, I know I will be able to let go. I know I will be able to pull back without any harm. It's very much obviously selfish, it's very much self-centered, but that's a coping mechanism. I don't want to get too deep into a relationship because I know that if I do, it's going to be harmful for me if I want to let go at some stage. So third one, the sort of the loss aversion effect. Now you have Barbie and Ken. If you watch the movie, it's a great movie. I would recommend to watch it. I put the example of these two guys. Imagine that Margot Robbie or Ryan Gosling were to break up with their partner. I want you to visualize their experience of the breakup. And I'm sure that, I don't know who are their partners, but I'm sure that if they break up with their partners, they'll be sad. They'll be depressed, they might have a hard time, they might cry. They're human beings. But the experience of the breakup would be different. Because they don't need the validation. They don't feel that they won't find anyone better in their life. They will be sad to end the relationship, but they won't start assuming that they're not good enough. Of course, they're superstars, they're very good looking. And so they have this, obviously, they built this strong belief that they don't need anyone and they will bounce back very easily. So, of course, you might be thinking, I'm not as good looking as Ryan Gosling, I'm not as good looking as Margot Robbie. But in a way, if you were in a relationship, there's no reason why you can't be in another relationship. And assuming that it's this person or my life is over, is this person because I won't be able to find someone else, is a construct, is a belief system. And that's why also people have a hard time letting go, because they feel like, I can't let go of this. This was the thing. This was the prize that I needed to win. Let me remember this thing. Narratives become choices and action. And that becomes your life. What we do in therapy is observing our narratives and working together with my clients at changing those narratives, because they shape who we are, they shape also our life. And right now, the reason you're struggling to let go is because those narratives are not helping you. Those narratives are reinforcing kind of insecurities towards others, towards your partner, and fueling anxiety, obviously. So one strategy that you can try at home if you want to let go, understand and challenge your personal narrative in three steps. Describe the regret, then describe the narrative behind it. Try to observe, try to ask why as many times as possible. And then challenge this narrative. Is this narrative true? Would Margot Robbie, would Ryan Gosling think the same? And that will highlight your inner critics. Thoughts are not always true. It's not because you're thinking about something that is the reality. That's your reality, but that's not truth. That's your reality. It's very important to challenge your narrative. So spend some time to write down this, keep a journal on that, and trust me, it's going to be very easy for you at some stage to really let go, to really detach yourself from this relationship. And let me know in the comment section if you recognize yourself in those 3 or 4 things that I described on the reasons why you couldn't let go. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
For a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.